Emma's Dilemma. I met Emma in a small conference area, and the expression of pain on her face sucked out what little fresh air was left in the room. Emma, not her real name, was a member of an engineering team in a biotech company I was working with several years ago. She found out she did not get the promotion she was promised. The most frustrating part was that she met all her goals that year. As I recall, this was not a situation where several people were competing for one job. This was about moving to the next level. She was devastated. She felt this was not fair. When I asked if she had ever talked directly with her boss over the past year about what it would take to get promoted, the answer was a resounding no, followed by complete silence. Then after a few moments, why would I do that? Not getting a promotion is a big deal. It's a blow any way you describe it. Some people back up, take stock, figure out what it'll take to move forward. Others quit, go on to another organization, hoping to get back on the bandwagon someplace else. Some jump and become entrepreneurs and business owners. Others are stuck and feel defeated, depressed, and uncertain about what they really want to do. And some people will carve out a non-traditional path forward, motivated by something more deeply personal. Success contributes to our need to feel valued. Striving for success in the workplace, what we do for a living, plays a major role in how we define personal success. We need to feel good about who we are. We need to know that we matter and that people see us, acknowledge us and our contributions, and appreciate us for who we are and what we do. Without this, we're forced to run our own race, to do our best to separate ourselves from the pack, and to constantly take note of who's ahead of us and who's behind us. Did Emma think she failed to get a promotion, or did she consider herself a failure? I suppose the only way to know for sure is to have asked her at the time. I was too busy trying to give her a pep talk about what to do rather than understanding her personal situation. It's in hindsight that understanding her has inspired me to write this book. My purpose is, 1, validate the hazards in climbing the corporate ladder. 2, propose a different approach to career development. And 3, describe the principles, practices, and skills needed to engage in work with meaning and purpose. We will also explore the broader challenge issued by Dr. Clayton Christensen, former professor at Harvard Business School, to consider how will you measure your life. Our sense of success and value is tested in times of turbulence. We couldn't share a more common experience than what we have lived through in 2020. We climbed Maslow's hierarchy of needs, moved from safety and security to feelings of self-esteem and purpose, only to get pushed off and start over. Jobs were lost, living situations shattered, and livelihoods destroyed. In times like these, feeling valued is a distant second to survival. It's hard to dig deep when you're digging out. How we navigate our careers and sense of success is tested through a more enduring and treacherous type of turbulence, the climb up the corporate ladder. The climb requires accumulating and tracking personal accomplishment, much like a person collects wine or baseball cards. We refer to these achievements by many names: goals, objectives, outcomes, deliverables, results, and resumes. They are manifestations of our American belief system. Put your shoulder to the wheel, persist, work hard, and you can be anything you want. The sky is the limit. The problem is, the ladder is a mirage. It is based on a set of material rewards that over time lose their motivational power. It is an illusion where the top is invisible to all but a few. Different rungs are all too similar in their exclusivity, especially at the higher levels. Women and people of color have known this and experienced this forever. The climb itself is treacherous, often an expedition into territory where mergers, acquisitions, restructures, natural disasters, economic upheavals, and leaps in technology render certain jobs useless and their skill sets obsolete. At one time, ladders were images of certainty and predictability. Today's social awakening and economic uncertainty expose the ladder for what it is, the road to not good enough. There's no fixing the ladder, no industrial strength glue to put it back together, no pregame motivational speech like, it's time for the tough to get going, something I was attempting to do with Emma. No. This is a new era, a time to challenge and support individuals who want to, who need to, and who will contribute to something bigger than themselves. Look to the horizon of the workplace and you will see two groups of people. One is a recent group of college graduates with different expectations than their predecessors. The other group is a group of employers engaged in a war for hiring and retaining them. Graduates are looking for engaging work, and they're not the only ones. Are organizations able to deliver? Will signing bonuses and double lattes sweeten the deal? Amid the flurry of different expectations and the havoc created by the pandemic, here is one principle everyone needs to frame and steady their situation. Only one person is responsible for your career development. You. Your boss and your organization may have your best interests at heart, but they can't control what's important to you or make future promises about your career and where it will head. Neither can your significant other, friends, mentors, even your mother. We'll discuss how to find other options to waiting your turn to climb the ladder. Moving forward doesn't mean moving upward. You'll see how people with different backgrounds and interests have pursued purpose and meaning wherever it's taken them. Looking at success in the workplace started long before you walked through the door to your first job and stared up at the ladder. For most of you, your life has been engaged in two games. One, the game of education, which I refer to as achieve and advance. And two, the game of climbing the corporate ladder, the road to not good enough. After a brief background on American beliefs and the construction of the corporate ladder in Chapter 1, Chapters 2 and 3 discuss these games and how they shape what people do and their impact on how and who defines personal success. Chapter 4 begins the discussion of the third game, ladder burning, pursuing work with meaning and purpose, a different approach to career development. Then we'll move to the principles and skill sets ladder burners need to cultivate in chapters 5 through 9. These chapters describe each of the steps with case studies and recommendations for what you can do. In the war for talent, organizations are spending millions to figure out how to engage employees, to get them to join and then to get them to stay. I will make a case that we need a different perspective on personal motivation. The pursuit of meaningful work is an individual, not an organizational responsibility.